Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. So this is our weekly mindfulness meditation session. Appreciate the people that are here. This is being brought to you by Evolution Mental Health Services. And we do a variety of things to help people's mental well-being and believe that mindfulness meditation is a great way to improve mental health. So we're happy to offer this service. I want everyone to be aware that we are recording this. The purpose is so that we can post it online later. So just be aware that if you speak, that will be on the recording. But as long as you're quiet, you won't be on the recording at all. So this week we're going to focus some more on mindful awareness. We've been practicing being aware of different things, like we've practiced being aware of the world around us by engaging our five senses. We've practiced being aware of our thoughts and emotions. We've practiced being aware of our breath last week. Today, we're going to practice being aware of our physical body. Sometimes when it comes to meditation, people think about meditation and they imagine these kind of like transcendent, experiences where they're out of body and connecting with, some greater dimension or something like that. And while it's true that sometimes people do have maybe like what you might call like an altered state of consciousness or something like that when they're meditating. That's not what we're talking about when we talk about being aware, like practicing mindful awareness. In fact, while those experiences can be really beneficial, if that's all we seek to do, then meditation can just become another form of escape, just another one of the million ways that people try to escape their reality. And what we really want to do is be in touch with our reality, know what's going on right here, right now, in and around us. So, like I said, today we're going to practice doing that by focusing on our body, what's happening with our physical body. All right. Um, you might think of a time when you had a really intense physical experience. Maybe it was a really painful experience, a really pleasurable experience. A couple examples that come to my mind. I think about getting tattoos. Like if I get a tattoo, for whatever reason, I just tend to kind of lock on to what's happening. I just the feeling of the tattoo, and I don't think about much else while that's going on. Another thing that comes to mind is I get kidney stones from time to time, and when I'm in the middle of passing a kidney stone, I'm not really thinking about anything else. I'm not worried about the past. I'm not worried about the future. I'm not worried about what anyone around me is thinking or feeling, really. I'm just focused on what's happening in my body right then and there. Now, we don't have to have these really intense moments where it's like some intense feeling of pleasure or pain to be aware of our body. We can practice being aware of our body all the time. So that's what we're going to do. So, as kind of a warm up exercise, what I want everyone to do, this might seem a little weird, um, but I think it could be useful. I want us all to take just a couple minutes and really examine our hands. So just pick a hand, right or left, doesn't matter, and really study your hand. I mean, like look at the skin, the lines, the wrinkles in your hand. Is it dry? Is it soft? Look at the bone structure, look at the veins, any anything that stands out to you. We're just going to take a couple minutes and I want you to really closely examine your hand, like you're trying to really study it.
Hi, Greg. My hand looks really dry and overworked and really wrinkly, more than I noticed before.
Yeah. So pay attention to what you've noticed. I'm going to guess that you might have noticed some things that you don't think about in just your everyday life. When you're going about your life, you don't stop and think about that particular detail of your hand. And then now think about the fact that that's just one part of your body. There are all kinds of things happening with your body that just go unnoticed. So what we're going to do for the next few minutes is want everyone, if you're comfortable doing so, you can close your eyes. If you're not comfortable closing your eyes, you don't have to. Just closing your eyes kind of helps tune out other distractions. So close your eyes, just kind of sit up straight where you're comfortable, but you have good enough posture that you can breathe well and everything. Let's start by taking just a couple deep breaths to kind of center ourselves. So just a couple breaths. Now you might have noticed just some physical change just from the taking those couple breaths. Your body might feel a little different than it did before. And now what I want us to do is everyone just in your own world, just kind of sit silently and take note of your body. And so we're going to do a body scan. We're going to start at the top of our heads and just work our way down and take note of things like, the feeling of your muscles, like how tight or how loose your muscles feel, your joints, how your joints feel, um, things like your heart rate and your breathing and, whatever's going on in your stomach. Pay attention to any pain you might have, anything that might feel uncomfortable. And we're not even trying to change it. We're just trying to notice it. So we're going to try this. We're going to spend the next 15 minutes just sitting here silently observing what's happening in our body. For some people, 15 minutes might seem like a really long time. For some people, it might not seem like much time at all. But I want to give us enough time that we can really, really pay attention. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to start a timer. A bell will go off when the 15 minutes is up, so you don't have to worry about, how long has it been, or did I go over time and not notice or anything like that. Um, so I'm just going to stop talking and let's spend the next 15 minutes trying to be really mindful of what's happening in our body. If as you're doing this, you find yourself getting distracted, just know that that's totally okay and totally normal. If you find yourself distracted, just acknowledge it. You just come back to your body. Just how do you feel in your body? And you spend some time checking in with your body, noticing how you feel. I want to spend the last few minutes practicing some loving kindness towards ourselves, towards our bodies. So I want to start by taking note of what your body needs as you've been paying attention to it. Just spend a couple minutes just thinking to yourself about what your body needs and how you could provide for it. Now, again, in the spirit of loving kindness, I want us to spend these last couple minutes taking note of what our body is doing for us, how it's helping us, how it's making our life better, the positive experiences we have through our body. Just spend a couple minutes being grateful for what our body does for us. As we come back into the world around us. We can open our eyes and slowly readjust. Just want us to be mindful over these next few days of what our body is and what it does. Be grateful, take care of our body. Keep in mind things that, for instance, when you're tense, when your muscles are tense, that's your body preparing you for action. And sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes there's no action needed and you need to relax to take care of your body. That's also a thing. So your body is trying to help you, and then sometimes we need to help it. But we can't do any of that if we don't pay attention and be mindful of what's happening in our body. I hope that was helpful for you. That's going to be it for this week. Hope you are well and at peace and free. And hopefully, we'll see you next time.